As more communities across Ohio push back against large data centers, the focus is also shifting to who could end up paying the price.
And Danita, state leaders, consumer advocates, and the companies themselves are now all weighing in as Ohio figures out how to handle the growth of these projects. Candace Hare continues her series digging into the impact of data centers here in the Buckeye State.
From packed city council meetings to debates at the State House, the conversation around data centers in Ohio is no longer just about what they are, but who pays for them. Data centers help run everything from video streaming to AI, but they can also use massive amounts of electricity. The Ohio Consumers Counsel, the state agency that advocates for residential utility customers, says that growing demand could drive up costs for everyday Ohioans if companies aren't required to cover the impact they create.
Ohio families shouldn't be forced to subsidize billion-dollar tech companies' electric needs.
Ohio Consumers Counsel and agency director Maureen Willis says the OCC aims to protect consumers by advocating for them before the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, in addition to involvement with work being done at the Ohio General Assembly.
If the data centers are driving the cost, they should pay for the cost. And, essentially cost causers should pay for the costs they create.
3 News reached out to electric company First Energy about consumer concerns related to rising costs possibly tied to data centers, but they did not provide a representative for comment before the story aired. A point of focus for much of the data center debate has been big tech. Google, which has a major presence in Ohio with multiple data center campuses, says it evaluates local infrastructure before choosing new sites.
We're looking for community leaders who want to work with us, local skilled workforce, as well as existing and available capacity of infrastructure like power, water, sewer, and fiber. We're committed to make sure Google pays their way for all of their infrastructure and power needs.
Regardless, lawmakers say they've been hearing from constituents across Ohio, raising questions about rising electric bills and whether rapid data center growth is playing a role.
People are trying to understand, why are my bills skyrocketing? Why is this runaway train happening? And the answer is pretty straightforward. There is massive new demand coming onto the grid.
State Senator Casey Weinstein says he's been working on 2 pieces of legislation. One of them requires PUCO review for any data center before it could connect to the grid to ensure it's not going to negatively impact prices for the surrounding community. The other bill would put strict limits on water usage and incentivize any new data centers to use recirculating water. Also in Columbus, state lawmakers have now formed a joint data center committee to study how fast the industry is growing and what it means for costs and oversight in Ohio. But as the debate grows more political, some say the issue is also starting to bring people together across the state.
If we can all agree on this, think of all the other things we can probably agree on too. Think of all the other things that are hurting all of us, common people, who we could all come together and actually make a change.
And Governor Mike DeWine has also directed the state to pause consideration of new data center tax exemption requests. That took effect this week. And moving forward, that new legislative committee has begun holding hearings with testimony heard from residents and industry representatives as Ohio decides how to handle this.
Candace Hare, 3-part series. Great work. Thank you.